I don't know if anybody else is noticing just a lot of, and I know that the energies are fucking cray cray right now. There's some disturbing, there's some shadows coming that I don't think it's just me. The weather here outside in Iowa is also reflecting just some weird, dark shit. So I'm just going to go ahead and have my guides just make sure that I am in a bubble, in a protective bubble. And I've just been kind of weighed down this evening with stuff. Again, it doesn't feel like just mine. So I thought I would get on here and pull some cards and see what the fuck's going on. And I have to tell you that it feels like there's something going on with the divine masculine. That's everybody. We talk about divine masculine, divine feminine, divine counterparts, divine tantric consort. Look it up. It's a very specialized Buddhist path. Um, but really, everyone has divine masculine and feminine within. And then every man is a divine masculine and every woman is a divine feminine. Energetically, okay, I'm not speaking genders, but necessarily. If you emit more feminine energy and that is your natural state, then you are a divine feminine. But you also have divine masculine energy in you, and it's finding that balance. And so, for a lot of, well, if you ever have generated your chart, your full chart, your birth chart, it actually tells you what your natural balance is. For me personally, it's 7 feminine, 3 masculine, which essentially means 70% feminine. So at any given time, I should be in that. That is my perfect balance, 70-30. Now I'm not, it's a constant, balancing act. And so, in fact, I spent most of my adult life probably the total opposite. I grew up with brothers. I went into the military. I was much bigger. I almost started to look like a man. I sounded like a man. I do have a deep voice, but it was much, much worse. And I do realize now the trauma that caused it. I had friends who had been molested and treated very inappropriately in the military. And so I was making sure that I didn't get that same treatment. And so I became one of them, not one of the abusers, but they wouldn't they wouldn't want to touch me. So what happened, and it took me a long time to find my feminine energy in a healthy way again. And I'm still working on it, but there's something going on with the masculine. Let's pull some cards around this and I got my masculine decks out. I think of this Star Trek deck as masculine deck. Um, and then I have this my Viking Oracle, just because I really want some messages around what's going on in the masculine. And this is within feminines and those who emit more masculine. I will tell you what I'm noticing, why I decided to get on is just on social media today, just today, well, maybe even yesterday and the day before. I'm trying to remember when it started. My whole feed is weak right now. My whole feed is just fucked up. Like, I don't know I'm getting people that I didn't even know we were friends and not seeing my normal friends. And then friends and like a relative of mine, something really inappropriate was posted, and come to find out she was hacked. And so then I saw a friend, we've been friends for years on Facebook, um, posting really inappropriate, not normal stuff for that person. And I messaged them and said, "Hey, were you hacked? I noticed that these posts," and get this very weird message back that I could tell was not him. So I don't know what's going on. And if it was him, then he is not the same. He is not the same. I have spoken to this beautiful person and has have really enjoyed our connection on Facebook. Like, I don't even know, like at least 5, 6 years. I mean, just we're in a lot of the same groups. He met his wife in a lot of our in one of the groups. I don't know what's going on. But and then another gentleman who is in a group that I'm in, just really out of character posts, like very so it's interesting because they're all very just kind of icky and gross sexually kind of posts. That's what I'm talking about. And I mean ugh, like why is Facebook even allowing these things? And so I don't know what's going on with them. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what's going on with the men. There's definitely a dark energy coming through as sexual for some reason. And I've got stuff going on in my personal life that I'm not going to go into detail about that goes along with this. That goes along with this. More than one person in my life. You know, it's really bugging me. I actually went to bed at 7:15 because something was heavy, and I slept for about an hour, and then I've been just kind of restless. So I guess fuck it, I'll get. I don't know. Let me know if anybody who watches this. I noticed my last video has like fucking 3 views. So I don't know. And even on here, my feed on here, normally I get all my crochet people, my sewing people, I watch a couple gals incessantly who are crafters, but also are both renovating old houses in Canada that they bought. And those are my faves. And then like tarot and oracle. I'm getting all these recommended now that I don't I've never seen before, and just dumb things. The things that you click on that's like, oh, it's about celebrities, or it's about like, oh, the conjoined twins, and you click on it, and it's just like this weird fake video that doesn't really tell you anything, and you can tell it's like an AI voice. And it's like I'm getting a ton of those. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? Let's pull a Star Trek card. This is what the book looks like. If you're into cards and you love Star Trek, it is StarTrek.com, I think. Yeah, StarTrek.com, and the deck is from Telekiad, Telekiad. I think I did promise to put the link in the description. Last time I used this one, I don't think I did, so sorry, but it should be pretty easy to find. So I just want to get a card. I don't know how many cards I'm going to pull, but I just wanted to get some kind of focus. My head feels weird all of a sudden. It's like I'm being prevented from really tuning into what's going on because I'm aware that it's not normal. Oh, okay. I mean, we'll take that. I guess I want three. The tower was the third one. Okay, so 7 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. Okay. I mean, everything works for the light, right? 10 of Pentacles. As far as I'm concerned, that means it's part of the process. We're going the right way, barreling on through. 10 is also end of a cycle. So that would make sense that there's something holding on. There's something holding on. Oh, there's something holding on, and it is manifesting in my very, very deeply personal life lately too. And I just know that it's not just me. It can't be. It can't be. I'm feeling it in the air. I'm feeling it outside. I'm feeling it in my boy cats. I'm feeling it in my kids. I have all boys. There's something going on, and it's not just me. So interesting, interesting. Okay, the 7 of Swords for the Star Trek deck, the episode is The Man Trap. Yeah, and can't make this shit up, you guys. 7 is also cosmic assistance. It comes through to me as support from the beyond, right? From Okay, not good. I'm in the wrong section. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. This is an interesting card that was the first one that came out. I guess I'll show it to you. This is kind of what their depiction of the episode is. So this was, if I remember correctly, this is a creature that disguises itself as a beautiful woman and then entices the men. This quote itself is even deceptive, as most people believe it comes from Shakespeare, while it is really from a poem by Sir Walter Scott. The 7 of Blades warns of deception. Another party may be acting with intentional treachery, or a complex situation may require your own caution and stealth. Okay, interesting, because talking to a friend just yesterday about A lot of masculine energy is, attempting to be co-opted right now by the darkness, and, all that means is a lot of men, a lot of masculine, excuse me, I apologize if I do that, it's my own perspective, but a lot of masculines are having to face their deepest, darkest shadows now, and it's dark shit, it's dark stuff, and for many of them, it's taking over and it's temporary, right? It's temporary, none of this is permanent. 99.9% of them, my perspective, are going to figure this out and are going to, take back control. But right now, there's something going on. Masculine energy is being co-opted, and so we have to be aware. I don't wanna scare anybody, but we have to be aware of this, that if the men in your lives or even women who maybe emit more masculine or any beings in your life that emit more masculine energy, but even some women could be if they're in too much masculine, right? If they're in overly masculine energy in their lives that isn't a natural balance for them, they might be finding that they're being pulled into this. But I feel like because anyone who is more feminine is going to be aware, is going to have more clarity around what's going on than a masculine. Look for mental challenges that must be countered with your wits and perseverance through insecurity and uncertainty. Damn, this is just like spot on. Be prepared to do what is necessary, but remember that the ends do not always justify the means. Okay. It did not come out inverted. I'm not going to read that. In the Man Trap, the Enterprise visits planet M113. 13 is a divine feminine number. To check on archaeologists Robert and Nancy Crater, exploring really, that's their last name, Crater, exploring the ancient ruins there. A landing party member dies, apparently from eating a poisonous local plant, but Dr. McCoy's examination reveals that all salt is somehow missing from the victim's bloodstream. When two more crewmen die on the planet, Nancy changes her appearance to mimic one of them before his body is found and transports up to the ship in his place. She changes her appearance several more times to evade detection on the ship, killing yet another crewman and eventually Dr. Crater before being cornered in McCoy's cabin. She's ultimately revealed to be a salt craving alien creature from the planet, staying alive by feeding on her victims. She is about to feed on Kirk when McCoy must reluctantly shoot her to save him. And from what I remember, she's not even Nancy Crater. She just became Nancy Crater after she killed Nancy Crater. So, yeah, this is crazy because I mean, talk about being co-opted, talk about being duped, talk about being, tricked. I think masculine energy is being lured, is being enticed right now by, false light, and it's not just, and feminines are susceptible too. So that is really interesting. I do want to the 10 of Pentacles, interestingly, is the Trouble with Tribbles episode. If you don't know Star Trek at all, this is a famous episode that has been the topic of, a lot of it comes up a lot in other areas of life if you're old like me and older than me. Because it's a classic episode where it's very kind of cute and cuddly, but then they reproduce so quick, these cuddly little creatures, that they start to affect the ship's operation, and they soon realize that it's gonna take over. Another interesting this whole theme is interesting. And so, but it is 10 of Pentacles, which okay, which, should be a good one secret of success is to stop focusing on what you do not have and shift your consciousness to an appreciation for all that you do have. Live a life of positivity and you will have a life of prosperity. I think the only thing I want to take from that is I feel like there are a lot of masculines who are really seeing their lack right now. All the things they don't have, all the things they never got, that they don't think they're ever going to get, and are really in their victim mode right now, really in their victim energy right now. And I've seen for like a year now, the men have been, and this is no judgment on masculines. This is just where they're at in the process. Feminines, we've been in the pits and we've been really difficult to deal with. at times, but the men for the last year, the masculines, excuse me, I'm trying to get better at that. The masculines for the last year have been in their, wounded children, their wounded child energy. And so many have mother issues that have mostly created this wounded child. And so what happens is something happens young, right? Very young age. And then it doesn't even have to be any woman, even a man, probably any woman can then do something and add to that. Sorry, there's people walking around outside my apartment. And so it starts as a little teeny, like I like to think of it as like a BB, right? Like a little pellet, and then we add to it. It's like a tumor, right? It's like a tumor, and we add to it, and we add to it, and we add to it. Anytime anybody kind of feeds that insecurity, that lack. And so these men who are grown adults who are 40s, 50s, any age really, but if they're if they're if they've already how do I want to say this? If they've already on the soul level decided to be unplugged from this old reality matrix and come along on this new journey, then they are really being faced with that wounded child big time right now. And that wounded child is being it's almost like the pedophile van has pulled up with the candy and they're having a lot of trouble resisting. That's a horrible analogy, I know, but that's kind of where I'm getting at, like, because I don't want to. Yeah, okay. So just let's see what this is. The 10 of coins, the 10 of pentacles signifies affluence in abundance. I think I showed you this already, but they do they say coins, but I prefer pentacles. Signifies affluence and abundance, whether as part of a long legacy of inheritance or from more recent personal accomplishments. What that tells me is this is a healing of an ancestral level. Like we're talking way back. This is from the beginning, almost the beginning of men and women, almost the beginning of humanity. Okay, which is not Adam and Eve. Don't let that story fool you. Um, It could be in the form of a sudden windfall as a long-term growing accumulation of benefits, or in a non-financial but still tangible form, such as a stable home environment or the security of solid relationships. Enjoy your good fortune. So inverted, it didn't come out inverted, but the message that I'm getting, because it is, yes, it's abundance, but it's also the fuzzy creatures start to take over and destroy things and ruin things. And so it's like something is enticing the masculine right now, and I'm not saying that all masculines are falling for this. I'm saying that that's the energy. That's what's pulling on them right now is, "Hey, come this way. Come down this dark path," right? Come over here and down this, I'm just gonna say it, down this addiction. There's, lots of things that anybody can fall prey to. And it's really amping up right now because they're trying to derail this whole balancing of the feminine and masculine and divine unions. They're pulling out all the stops now to keep divine unions from happening. And so the masculines are being enticed by addiction, by just darkness, by quick pleasures, right? Like, yeah, I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm and so and it's like, in the Trouble with Tribbles, the Enterprise is summoned to Deep Space Station K7 to guard a shipment of Quadro Triticale, a special grain designed to thrive on the contested Sherman's planet. Interesting, Sherman's planet. I live on Sherman Street. I'm just saying, for me personally, that's an interesting synchronicity. And my ex's last name, my last name still legally is Herman, which is just Sherman without the S. Anyway, interesting synchronicity for me personally. On the Sherman's planet, to prove the Federation more capable of its development than the Klingon Empire, a traveling salesman, Cyrano Jones, brings many wares to the station, including small furry tribbles, which are friendly to most people but screech at visiting Klingons. The tribbles, breeding unchecked, begin to overrun the Enterprise and the station. They begin to overrun. So this energy is trying to take over by being enticing and cute and fluffy and appealing. And then we let it in, and then it tries to take over. Um, let's see. When Kirk finds tribbles in the grain storage, McCoy discovers that some of them have been poisoned by something in the grain. A screeching tribble exposes a Klingon spy on the station who had sabotaged the grain. A fresh shipment is routed to Sherman's planet, and Jones is tasked with clearing the station of all the tribbles. And so that's the episode, but it's what I want to take from that is the yeah, and think of it too, it's like everything works for the light. So if we put a positive spin on this is all part of the process. The masculines have to look at this stuff. They have to kind of pass the test, right? And if they don't, then they'll get more tests, but sometimes they just choose to plug back in to the old reality matrix and they won't come. Okay, they won't. They just won't. They refuse to do the healing because it's too big. They're too scared because they're in their little boy, their wounded child, and they just don't think they'll survive, and so they're plugging back in out of survival, and that's just the reality right now. But it can be seen, it can be conquered, it can be resisted, but it's well, and I don't even want to say that, right? Like it has to be looked at, it has to be confronted because it is their darkness, their shadows. So they have to look at what's going on and confront it and say, well, okay. And you have to, even though this is a big shadow, it's like you have to look at it and go, thanks. Thank you for reminding me the path that I don't want. Thank you for, putting that blatantly in my face because now I know I don't want that. And then, if you're doing this visualization, then you can look at it and say, and I'm just setting the intention that I'm doing it right now, whatever is trying to. But this shadow for me personally, I do not need you anymore. I do not need you anymore. There's the door. Bye bye. So that shadow cannot get in to my energy. Okay. And it's going to try harder now, but I've got things in place. I'm protected. I feel it. Um, I am on a path of the divine tantric consort. I still do believe that, even though the partner is no longer there. Maybe there's another one. I don't know. I do still believe that many of us are on this divine union path. I think this whole thing is just an attempt to fuck it up. But it's their last ditch effort. This is it. This is like the finale of the fireworks show. Like once we navigate this and push on through and go, "I'm not falling for that." Masculines, men, don't fall for it. Women too, right? We're all there. It's trying to get to all of us. And what's going on is it's trying to get to the feminines through the masculines, right? Through this energy. Because we're leading the charge. Feminines, we're barreling through and we're holding the torch. And so this energy is trying to derail it all by coming through our men, our masculines, and in essence attacking us, coming at us in some way. And maybe if you've noticed, like the men in your life are weird, have shifted, they're different, they're agitated, they're I don't know, it's their darkness coming up. Okay, so the last one is the Tower, and it's the episode is the Doomsday Machine. These cards very, I mean, just right on, like you can't make this shit up. Crisis, yeah. Okay, so let's read I don't remember this episode per se, but we will check it out. I don't remember what tower. Oh yeah, it's 16. I don't know. Come on. It's aliens. Oh, the magician. On the sun, the dollar. No, find it. Okay. Oh, interesting. I can't find it, you guys. Is it not? Let's see, what I'm telling you is they don't want us to be aware of this. But I've got my team protecting me. I am not letting any of this shit in. Fuck that. There we go. Okay. Interesting. Wow, I couldn't find it. The only constant in life is change. Well, that's for fucking sure. But sometimes an unexpected and seemingly catastrophic change can occur suddenly with little or no warning, like a proverbial bolt from the blue. Now, this has happened in my personal life. I'm doing okay. I'm navigating through it. Because I don't know, I'm trying to trust the process. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I don't know, honestly, from one minute to the next, really, what I'm doing. I'm just trusting my intuition and continuing to try to do my own stuff and trying to set up a more healthy, like daily schedule for myself right now. I just kind of really pared down to the basics. I have really purged my place, threw away a ton of crap that I no longer need, that I don't want, and I have so much space now, and I felt it in my energy. If you need a clearing, clean out a closet because that clears your energy like nothing else. Excuse me. I might have had some cookies before we got. The Tower card implies such a shocking change and the crisis that can follow. It may arrive as something external, like a storm or car accident. Okay, that's fucking weird because my son got in a car accident yesterday morning. He's okay, but he got in a pretty decent fender bender. Luckily, the car is not totaled, but the back was just completely like pushed in. But they're able to fix it, I guess. Thank God, because there's just no money in the car. But he's okay. But it's his first accident. He's only 18, and so that's interesting. Like even for him, it's manifesting as kind of this chaotic, right? This chaotic energy. And yeah, so that's going on in my life right now too. Just trying to help him. Like the first thing I told him to do was, shake it out of your body, shake that stress because we it's like when you see like a deer escape a lion, right? They or whatever is chasing it, right? A deer escape a predator. They go in, once they're safe, they shake for like a whole minute. They just shake, they get it all out of their body, and then they just get on with their life and they prance around like nothing happened. So I was having him just kind of shake, and he kind of takes it seriously. I think he probably did more when he was alone because he doesn't want me to know that he takes it seriously, right? He's at that age. But he was shaking it all out, and it wasn't his fault. The accident was not his fault, thank goodness. But still, it's yeah. And things can pop up after an accident. So, we're gonna make sure he gets to the chiropractor and physically takes care of the physical body. But meanwhile, his dad will do that. I take care of, more the emotional state. So I was making sure that he was okay because that's scary, even a fender bender, but as a teenager, right? So it's interesting anyway that this is talking about. Like, what the hell? Um, or by something internal like growing pressures from work or relationship stresses suddenly reaching a breaking point and triggering an explosive outburst. What the fuck? That is exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened for me. Whatever the situation, it will likely have lasting consequences and require some readjustments. Yeah. In the Doomsday Machine, the Enterprise follows a distress call to star system L374, where it finds entire planets gone and the starship constellation a derelict. Now, that's interesting because we are letting go of so much. And I think we're going to come out the other end. We're it is after midnight. It is the equinox, the spring equinox, dude, eclipse, equinox, eclipse sandwich. Like, oh my God, like it's intense AF right now. Like on the other side of this next eclipse, which is the 29th, it's a solar eclipse. We just had a full lunar, a total lunar, and then the equinox, and then a solar. I think it's just a partial solar, if I remember correctly, but still, I mean, we are going to come out the other side of this, and so much that has been holding you back, that has been weighing you down, is just not going to be there anymore. But, we think, oh my God, that's going to be amazing. And it is, but you have to get used to that energy. So the integration period is, I feel like April April 1st is technically the first of the year. April 1st is the new year. And I think the month of April is going to be an integration month for reals. Let's see. Its sole survivor, Commodore Matt Decker, tells of a space battle that wrecked his ship and forced his crew to survive by beaming down to a nearby planet, which was then destroyed by the alien machine. The planet killer reappears and attacks the Enterprise. Interesting, because this is long before Star Wars, right? The planet killer. Scott manages to get the Constellation moving, that's his ship, but the two ships are still no match for the machine's dense hull. Decker, morose over the loss of his crew, sacrifices himself by flying a shuttle into the machine's main opening, causing it slight internal damage when the shuttle explodes. Kirk aims the Constellation into the same opening and barely escapes in time as it detonates an antimatter explosion that finally stops the machine. So that's interesting that there was this big sacrifice, right? And it's like, I feel like a lot of the men might feel like that's in a way energetically that they just give in and they just I don't know, there's something deep going on. There's something deep going on with the men where they're like, there's a martyrdom coming in, and that's a very actually a very feminine energy, right? It is, where we always feel like we're just sacrificing everything. And so maybe that's a feminine. Y'all, I can't even sort it out in my head. There's definitely something crazy about this energy going on. Um, it's the forces that are trying to derail this ascension, which they've already lost. This is what I'm trying to say is they cannot win anymore. This is the finale, and they've already pushed the button, and it's all going to go off. All the fireworks are going to go off, and then it's going to be over for them. And so we just have to stay strong. We just have to stay strong. I don't know what it's going to look like on the other side of this eclipse. I don't know what my life is gonna look like. All I know is the relationship that I was in just completely exploded and ended, and I'm not thrilled about it, but I don't know that it could ever happen. Um, I mean, a lot of things would have to be different for both sides, right? Like, blaming. I'm not blaming. Definitely something happened that needs to be I just don't know. I don't know how it'll work, and maybe it won't. And so I'm just trying to surrender to all of it. So if you're going through something where you feel like something is gone, maybe you feel like you fucked up something. I don't. I don't. I just feel like it came to a head, right? Like I could feel it coming, and it's almost like I had to do what I did to pop that zit because it needed to be popped. There was no like there just was no way around it. And so, not that I did it on purpose, I absolutely did not. But if you're feeling this, if you've got something in your life that just kind of just fucking just blew up in your face, it's either going to be there on the other side or it's not. And so, if it is, then it's going to have to be very different, right? It's going to have a whole different vibe. So let's pull a Viking. I just This energy is really interesting. 16 Sowulo. Interesting. It's a woman. So I want to look this up, but 16 breaks down to 7, which is the second 7 that we've gotten, which is more help. I like that. We're going to take that because we want all the help we can get. We've got help. I mean, they're never going to abandon us. We have got all the support. You are on purpose, you are on the right path. Okay, so I'm just saying, like, trust in the process, like, we're going forward, and I think that's why it came through too as the 10 of Pentacles, which in a normal tarot deck is, like, great card to get. It's like everything you've ever dreamed of coming to fruition. It's the happy family, it's the abundance, it's the career, it's everything coming in for you, and so but it came in as, "Oh, something's trying to take over," but it still came through that kind of positive energy. You may need to leave others behind to reach your goal. I'm just gonna fucking lose my shit when I get off of here. Um, it's so fucking spot on. Truth is right in front of you, should you choose to see it. You may have experienced dark times, but your future's bright. So we are in a dark time right now, just in this little window. It feels very dark, it feels very shadowy, it feels very mysterious and unknown. And so it can pull you down. It can pull you down. Um, So this is the rune of the sun. It's pronounced so yolo, so yolo, so yolo. Okay, I think. It's the rune of the sun, soul. As the sun illuminates all, so YOLO concerns itself with revealing the truth. Truth regarding personal purpose and intent. This is spot on because this clarity that's coming is going to help us see where we need to go with or without people. If they're not there on the other side, guys, keep going. Keep going. We're not waiting for anybody anymore, ever again. We can't. There's no room for that anymore in the timeline. um, Truth within oneself and truth in the dissemination of information and in speech. Isn't that timely with everything going on in the world right now, talking about disclosure and misinformation and all this crap and all the things coming out, like the JFK files supposedly were released already, and all the stuff coming out about aliens actually existing. And I mean, just so much going on right now. And nobody, like, the people who are gonna ignore it are gonna ignore it. They're just getting on with their lives and be like, "Oh, all the people in my life who've, like, made fun of me for believing in aliens, not a word, not a word." They're just getting on with their lives. In the absence of written contracts, the Vikings' word was their truth and their bond. Truth is one of the 9 virtues mentioned in the Eddas. Eddas, I don't know how to say that, where people are warned about setting and breaking false troughs. Truths, maybe? I don't know. To the ancient Norse, the word had real currency and worth. Being truthful or not could be the difference between surviving or not. This rune asks us to consider whether or not we're being true to ourselves. Okay, this is a good one and it hurts. Um, is the thing that has fallen off, that you still want, that you're still grieving, that you're hoping is on the other side, is it really good for you? And again, if it is, then it's going to have to be very different, but we can't focus on that. We have to really focus on where we are in this process right now, where you are internally, where you are individually, and really tuning in. And first of all, and I'm not going to say that you need to protect yourself. Just be aware that there is these shadows and darkness coming up through a masculine lens for a lot of the masculines. So if the masculines in your life are kind of going crazy, that's why. And it's not just them, right? Like, because we're so interconnected, quantum entanglement, we're going to feed off of it, right? And it's going to help us. Everything is an opportunity to grow. It's going to help us see where we need to grow yet. And so really focus on you, really focus on you. And I say that, and that's so hard. I'm probably going to cry myself to sleep again. Because I didn't want this. I didn't want what happened to happen. It was the last thing I wanted. Um, I wanted the relationship, and I still do. But if it's going to be there on the other side of this, it has to be very different. On both sides, it has to be very different. I'm doing the healing that is required. And if not, then there's something better. Like, we have to believe that whatever has fallen away, if it doesn't come back, then there's something better. Whether or not we are following our true path, it asks us to consider whether or not we are following our true path. Are we living according to the standards of others rather than our own? Are you letting other people run your life? Are you living their lives for them, and are they running your life? Are you doing things for them that is preventing them from doing their own healing? Are you doing too much? Are you doing so much that you don't have a life of your own? Are you avoiding and ignoring and just pushing down the things that you truly want? Is it time to It's time to stop doing that. If you want to come along, there's no more time to fuck around, you guys. This is The energy ain't playing no more. I mean, this is if you can't feel that, then you wouldn't be watching this if you can't feel that. Does our work take full advantage of our inherent gifts? Yeah, what you're doing in your life, your daily life, whether it's a job or following your passions, is it taking advantage? Is it, well, if you're following your passion, you're doing great. But if your whole day is taken up by things that do not feed your soul, that do not use your inherent gifts, what are you good at? What did you come here to do? How did you how did you come to share? Like I always say, the only thing we came here to do is express love for ourselves, for each other, for the world, in our own unique way. How did you come to express that? What In what way are you supposed to be expressing love? Yep, and my body's responding. Are we hiding our light under a basket? Have we put on a mask to hide our true self? Now, when you take the mask off, it fucking hurts. Okay. Just know that it is so painful and it can launch you and it can like what's going on with the men right now. They're being forced to take the masks off and look at their shadows. And not to say that they've got all this evil in them. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's not evil. It's just darkness that they've locked away. And it always grows when we lock it away. And we always perceive it as more powerful than it really is. And that's another thing I think that was coming through with the tribbles is, they were perceived, first of all, as innocent. And so they were ignored, but then as they started to reproduce more and more and more, they became dangerous to the ship and everybody on it because they were taking over. And so it's that perception of, well, the longer I hold it in, the bigger it gets. The longer I ignore it, the more powerful it becomes. Well, now I can't let it out because it'll destroy me. No, that's not true. You still locked it up. And, I always tell my clients, it's like you perceive it as this monster, as this dragon, as this beast, and when you really look at it, it's just like a kitten. It really is. It's whatever you locked up, and not to diminish any trauma or experiences people have been through that have really fucked them up, but it's never as big as you have made it, especially if you've been holding on to it for decades, okay? It's time to let it out of the cage, man. I mean, it's out. It's out. That's what's going on is the cage has been opened and you cannot put it back in. And so, Jordan Peterson, who I love almost everything he says. Actually, I've never heard him say anything I didn't love. Um, but that doesn't mean I'm 100% aligned, but I love everything that I've heard him say. And he said that men should be beasts, but know how to control it. And so men should have that inherent protector in them where it's always ready to come out and protect the people they love and the things that they love. But the men have lost control of their beasts for decades, for generations. And many of them pushed them down, put them in the cages, and pretended they didn't exist. And now they're out. They're out. And so they're threatening to destroy these beautiful masculines. But the masculine, they can't. There's not, I mean, they can if it's allowed, but the masculines just need to be reminded. And if you're a masculine or a man or watching this, you are much more powerful than your shadow. You are. Your shadow's got nothing on you. You are light. And the shadow is only coming to you because it wants to come home to the light. So all we have to do is let it. We have to confront it. We have to talk to it. We have to say, okay, well, you I don't need you in this form. I don't need the darkness. I don't need the shadow form. If you want to come back to the light, then you're going to be integrated and you're going to be alchemized and you're going to be transmuted to the light and become part of my path, my new path. But when we release it, when we release darkness, we actually allow it to go back to the light. Okay. It's holding on to it for dear life because we're so afraid that it's stronger than we are. That's what's keeping it as darkness. Okay. Because it's keeping it out of the light. It's keeping it a secret. It's keeping it hidden. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. Have we put on a mask to hide our truest self, lest it be seen or damaged further? How closely are we living in accordance with who we okay? And this is fire element. It's definitely fiery. I mean, but it's just perfection. I do want to pull one more. This is my newest deck that I just bought with my soul sisters, and I just want to get a wrap up card. I know this is a long one, but this is going on and I'm feeling it. And I've been talking to friends about it and they're feeling it too. And the men in my life are just acting weird. Like my son getting in a car accident and that wasn't his fault, but it's something out of the ordinary, right? That happened that it just timing wise, I know that it's part of all this chaos. And everybody, all the drivers, from what I understand, well, the driver who caused it, another teenage boy. It's like it's another young man. And so there's just a lot of masculine being like I have a friend who, well, they're being lured down into the darkness and they have to go. They have to go because that's the only way they're going to confront it and release it and then gain their light back, right? All right. I'd like to wrap or these. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know they're my guides are like just stay in your center. Stay in your center. Yeah, because just tuning into this energy is like, I am. Am I I'm not afraid, but it's yeah, the web weaver. Synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect, energy. There is a divine counterpart to this card. I pulled them both at one point. But it's number 4, which is creating soul family, creating new foundations. That's what's going on, you guys. Like, if you didn't feel like you had the rug pulled out from under you before, that's what this is doing. It's like the foundation, the old foundation is just gone now, but it was like it was scaffolding already. It was like a bridge about to collapse. And so it's collapsed. We have nothing to stand on now except for what we build anew, and it has to be in this new vibration. And so and I just did a personal reading the other day where it was like her big message was, okay, you're being given the opportunity to start building that new foundation because there's nothing there right now. You're free falling, right? That foundation should be gratitude. Gratitude for the journey, gratitude for the opportunity to grow. As hard as this is, as painful as this is, as fucking lonely and devastating as that can be from one minute to the next, it is an opportunity to grow. And boy, is this a big one. Like when we come out the other side of this after this solar eclipse on the 29th, the world is going to be unrecognizable. Your life will be unrecognizable, and only because you will have changed. A lot of things might look the same. Just be ready for them to crumble. Be ready for them to crumble. If they're meant to stay, then they're going to be different. They're going to feel different. They're going to look different. They're going to shift quickly. Okay. A lot of it is gonna shift quickly. I wanna kind of find the I just wanna find what I feel like is the that I feel like it was the Diamond Dreamer, maybe not. Let me look at this. I wanted to find the divine counterpart, for that card because I had pulled them both, and I was like, "Yeah, well, these 2 are together for sure." No, not that one. Yeah, I think it is this Diamond Dreamer. So it was the Web Weaver and the Diamond Dreamer. And it's prosperity. It's number 6. It's true that glare. It does say material wealth, true prosperity. Well, the masculine is the ruler of the physical realm, and the feminine, we rule the spiritual realm. That's the balance when we come together in this human existence is we balance it. And if you look at these two, 6 and 4, they make 10, which is the end of a cycle, which is also what the trouble with triples was the 10 of pentacles. And so the web weaver and the diamond dreamer coming together, it is a divine union, but it has to be in here. And so as we're allowing this masculine darkness to come through, don't forget to bring in that feminine as the almost as the mama bear kind of more. Yeah, I mean, almost as that, but, yeah, very maternal, a very maternal, almost like, okay, like, our child is getting in a scuffle on the playground, but we want him to figure it out himself, right? Like, so for feminines, we can't do it for the masculines, and again, I don't care what this looks like. If you are here to be in a more feminine state, and that's your natural state, then you are a feminine, divine feminine, and and then same with the masculine. So we have to let the masculines figure it out, and it's gonna be affecting your own masculine as well. So you got shit to do. You don't have time to do their shit, okay? Women, feminines, you've got your own stuff to do. So go in and really look at what it's doing for you. What is the opportunity to grow for you? So I hope that helps. I hope, like, I definitely know that this has not been just me. I hope other people are noticing, or maybe you just weren't sure what was going on, but you knew something was really weird. And I absolutely know that this energy. I already did a reading on the equinox, and it ended up being on the equinox sandwich, right? The eclipse that is going on this month, just completely transformative. Like there's just nothing that's going to look the same. Everything's going to feel different. The air already feels different. The weather just shifted completely and has been really fucked up. I mean, everything is changing now really fast. And we knew this was coming. I've been talking about this for years. We knew this was coming, this breaking point where, okay, all right, whatever you're still holding on to is now going to be ripped from your grasp and it's going to fucking hurt. But it's okay. We all do that. We all hold on for dear life until we can't anymore. And, that's just human nature sometimes, but we are learning. We are learning. And so feminines, you can't do it for the masculines. Go in and look at what this energy is trying to get you to see. Likely it has to do with your masculine energy. Go in there and balance that. Whatever your natural balance is, it's not going to be 50-50. I guarantee you. There is not a being on the planet that would be 50-50. 51-49 maybe, but not 50-50. There is always going to be a leaning toward one or the other. That is the nature of this reality. And so, but again, it doesn't matter what the vessel looks like as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you got a problem with that, then I'm not sure. I'm not your gal. So that's what I've got for you. Try not to stress, surrender to the process, do your own shit. And then whatever's on the other side after the 29th it isn't going to go anywhere for a long time or ever. Like we are starting to create the reality and the world that we really want to create that works for everyone. So I hope this helps. Please let me know in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, share if you're happening upon this and you're not already subscribed. I am trying to build this channel back up after being on TikTok for a while and just getting really disenchanted with TikTok and the whole update, right? Like we know it wasn't to shut down a threat. It was an empty threat whenever they were doing something to it, because then it was really weird when it came back on. And so I got off, but I had over 10,000 people over there, but I think that's just all an illusion. I never got the views that proved that I had 10,000 people in there anywhere. So yeah, so I came back over here because this is where I started, and why not? Back to basics. That's what's going on. So I'm going to go meditate and do some healing, and I hope you do the same. I love you.